Louis is a beta, and it breaks my heart knowing that he is doomed to be manipulated by everyone that he loves. Season 2 of Interview with the Vampire premiered last night, and I wanted to give you my thoughts. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. Before this episode starts, there's a note letting us know that Delaney Hales will be playing Claudia from this point forward. First, this young woman is incredible in the role. The way that the note is written gives us this theme and this air of something being reenacted, and it plays so well into the theme of theater, which is going to be something that we see heavily in this season. Because if you've ever been to a play, whenever there's a new actor in a role, you'll get an insert with it written. It's been 4 years since the death of Lestat. Louis and Claudia are currently going through Europe post-World War II looking for older vampires. Finally, in Romania, they come across this group of refugees who seem to be very heavy into vampire lore. Garlic everywhere, crosses, like the works. And for the first time ever, Louis feels like a person again. This man thrives when he's partying and having a good time, and he finds a match in this European, I think he's a journalist, but Claudia got the vampire on the mind. So she starts investigating and finds like a zombified one. The next day, their vivacious tour guide gets bitten and they decide to leave. And that's where they finally find an old vampire, and she is in a bad way. What I find most interesting about that scene is the fact that Claudia is trying so hard to connect with this woman, and it drives the woman to unalive herself. Louis is being haunted by Lestat's ghost, who says he's in purgatory right now, which tells me two things. One, he's hoping that Lestat is still alive because in their head, you know, he's dead, but he knows like there's a huge chance that this man survived it, and that was his plan. There's also something that this like ghost Lestat says to him that's very important, which is that he's not going to hunt Louis until Louis is happy again. It just speaks to Louis' thought process and his relationship with Lestat, who's very abusive and petty. Now that Armand has revealed himself, he is moving around filthy, making sure that the reporter feels uncomfortable and kind of pushing Louis to like not speak sometimes or to withdraw. It's so weird. And I thought I was gonna like Armand a lot better last season, but already I don't like him because it's showing that he's just as manipulating and controlling as Lestat was towards poor Louis. Can't prove it, but I felt a hint of jealousy between the reporter and him. Like he doesn't like the reporter because he had a moment with Louis. I know I didn't get a photo of the reporter, but he keeps on calling the actual Rashid like real Rashid, and it's hilarious and it gets him upset every time. The episode ends with them arriving to Paris, where we know a lot of shit is about to go down. The last thing I want to know about Louis and him reading Claudia's journal, because before this episode we saw her journals as Bible. And this is the first time that the audience and Louis realize that Claudia is an unreliable narrator, even in the things that she journaled. It starts off with Louis starting to get memories and understanding that like, hey, it couldn't have happened the way that Claudia is saying it. And then it goes into some little white lies that Claudia made for Louis. And I felt so bad to see him feel betrayed about her like lying about not being able to dream, because once again, it shows that everyone manipulates Louis. He's kind of just along for the ride. It's so heartbreaking. But it also brings in another theme about memory and how unreliable it is, even with written text, and how even the history that we read isn't 100% true. And I love that. Premiere hit it out the park. 4 out of 5 Frankie Flames.